この死体が後宮金蔵の死体であると保証する。
Oh my goodness! Then, when Delnor met with Balor's golden flash, she was unable to fully block it with either her red longsword or her blue shortsword, and she was blown backwards into the air. It was a direct hit, without any miscalculation. Huh. I guess so. I mean, even his sword was yellow, so it makes sense. But what the hell does this mean? Though she had always seemed as firm as a small giant before now, she was finally blasted away and slammed against the wall, as though she was the slender girl she appeared to be.
ドラノール、あんた何やって。見事な黄金の真実、有効です。
Cold truth.
黄金の真実。
The golden longsword, which had been drawing red and blue trails before now, finally drew a trail which retained its divine golden color. The truth it showed was neither red nor blue. It was gold truth.
何それ。ラムダ、こんなのはルールにあるの？ええ、黄金の真実、有効よ。黄金の真実はこの世界の領主、いえ、ゲームマスターにしか使えない。なんですって。黄金の真実、赤き真実とは異なる方法によって紡がれる神なる真実。その力は赤き真実と同等です。時に劣るでしょう。しかし時に勝る。
Its strength is on par with the red truth. It may sometimes be inferior, and it is sometimes superior.
その輝きこそがバトラ君が本当にベアトを理解した証。
示したぜ、この死体がじい様であることを。
はい、黄金の真実、受理しました。
I guess so. I guess another question is popping in my head when it comes to all this stuff. Now we're not gonna have to question what the gold truth, like, means. And what makes it different from the red and blue.
エリカ教の推理は修正に応じぬ限り破綻します。そんな。
Erika cried out in pain. It wasn't the pain of her body being impaled. It was the pain of her own fury being defiled.
なるほど。叙述トリックの寄せ集めかと思ったわ。これはいつの間にか。とんだ傑作集だわ。
バトラー、それ以上語るは野暮に過ぎるわ。あんたの遺体消失の真実、もはやこれ以上語らずとも完全に理解させてもらったわ。なるほどね。あんたの考えてるそれはこれまでの法廷の全ての赤に矛盾しない。19年前の男の復讐を軸にしたあんたの真実、その全て理解し受理したわ。あんたの真実の成立を宣言する。そんな。どうしてですか、大ラムダデルタ卿。あいつはまだ全てを説明しきっていません。
自室の封印やクローゼットのボタンやまだまだ他にも反論の手段が用意してあります。
あんたまだバトラーに反論できる気でいるの？
Huh. I guess not? In which case, fuck. I'm glad that I'm not on the other side. Like, it feels like game over at this point, given how important the gold truth must be. Like, I have no idea what it means, but one thing is for sure, I'm glad that I'm not Erika, I guess. Only Erika, the one who was supposed to be so intelligent, couldn't understand. She couldn't understand that Beller had already found the real truth.
以上により、じい様の不在は証明され、夏日おばさんのじい様をめぐる不名誉は返上される。
True.
夏日おばさん、純潔にして停粛だ。貴様ら好みの下劣な物語は許さない。
バトラ君。
さらに、これまでの死者全員の死亡時間に疑義が生じる以上、夏日おばさん以外全員のアリバイは白紙に戻る。
Kinda so. Like, it has been established that the time of death is not the way it is. And having even the possibility that they pretended to be dead and they just vanished themselves. And I guess because of that, all that talks of the alibis can be ignored in that case. Wow.
もはや夏日おばさん以外に犯行が不可能であるとの論法は通用しない。
Then we must have risen to our knees at some point. Slowly stood up. The flash from the golden longsword was still carved deep into her chest. And though pain didn't show in her expression, her awkward movements clearly showed how serious the damage she had taken was. Even though she herself knew that this spelled the total end of the match. The Honor didn't abandon her duty.
されどあなたはいとこ部屋にて5人不可能な遺体を確認されております。それが虚偽であったとおっしゃるのですか？
Like, what dead bodies? Like, if I'm understanding this right, without defining that, you can say that the dead bodies were anything else but the dead bodies of the cousins.
ノックス第7条、探偵が犯人であることを禁ず。探偵は客観的視点を義務付けられています。
The detective is obligated to have an objective point of view. Oh, hold on. Are we talking about the point of view of the main character versus the point of view of other people that can be questioned?
あなたの推理はこの義務に違反です。
探偵はフルドエリカだぜ。今回の俺は探偵じゃない。そしてノックス第9条、観測者は自分の判断解釈を主張することが許される。
ノックス第8条、提示されない手がかりでの解決を禁ず。これまでのあなたは探偵でした。そのあなたが今回は探偵でなく試験を交える観測者であったことは示されていたのですか？
When Erika was using her detective authority, which is reserved to only the detective. I mean, as far as we know, it's not like Beller can use that detective authority, therefore he's not a detective. Not to mention that if Kinzo died since the very beginning, that, like, you know, it even has been empowered by the gold truth. It means that what Beller saw, like, outside, like, you know, at that point when the gold was found, what Beller saw was not Kinzo. that means that Valor's viewpoint was subjective. He was not the detective at that point.
それがない限り、あなたには主観を偽る権利はありません。
I think.
俺は今回のゲームで非分の謎の仕掛けを解いた時、じい様を目撃している。すでに赤で示されている通り、じい様は存在しない。
Yeah, that's true.
その目撃は不可能だ。よって、俺の視点に客観性がないことはすでに示されている。
Yeah. Okay. It seems that I got it.
それは風雨に伸びくしとか何かをあなたが誤認しただけの可能性があります。
Nah, hold on. You cannot do that. You cannot do that without proof, showing that it was a sheet or something. Without hints that will lead to the idea of him mistaking it as Kinzo. Your reasoning is not good enough, there. Like, where is this sheet of paper?
ノックス第9条を示す伏線とはなり得ません。誤認は全ての観測者に許された権利です。
第4のゲームにてレアトが示した赤き真実。全ての人物は後宮金蔵を見間違わない。
Or that. Yeah, now I remember. It is a red truth battle used to counter my blue truth claim that someone disguised themselves as grandfather, and thereby made it seem as though he had appeared. In other words, on this island, anything which might lead someone to visually mistake something for grandfather, including someone else pretending to be grandfather, cannot ever work. The scheme Aunt Nancy once put together to make it seem as though grandfather was alive only involved her saying things like, "He was here just a second ago," or "He is in his study alone now," cleverly exploiting the relative's blind spots to pretend he was there. She never tried to make anyone mistake something they saw for grandfather himself, so there are no contradictions. If she had tried to dress one of the servants in grandfather's robe, it would probably have been seen through in an instant. It has been guaranteed that none of the characters in this tale would mistake something for grandfather by sight. Yeah, I guess that is true. I cannot argue with that. If someone still claims to have seen grandfather, it becomes a falsehood. Everyone is permitted the right to falsify their observations. There is one person who does not have that right. And that person is the detective. Oh. It's because if they falsify their truth, it would imply that they are the culprit. And they cannot be the culprit because of the commandment.
風雨になびくシートを見間違え、それを何であったと誤認して語るのもノックス第9条の権利だ。しかし、じい様だと誤認することだけは赤き真実において本ゲームでは許されていない。
金蔵を見たと主張された時点で誤認識ではなく意図的。
It was not misrecognition, but intentional.
すなわち観測の客観性が否定されていることの証というわけですか。
Because if he was objective and that he was the detective, he could not have done that intentionally, right? In this case, unintentional misrecognition is not permitted by the rules of this game. However, it is possible to intentionally lie about saying something you never saw. Unintentional misrecognition, intentionally lie. And that is an action not permitted to a detective, burdened with the responsibility of an impartial perspective.
暴論を許せ。これで決着だぜ。
いいえ、いいので。あなたのような男が世界にいてくれたなら、どのような傲慢からもか弱き真実を守ってくれたに違いない。もっともらしい一つの真実がか弱き真実たちを駆逐し 唯一の真実であると語る横暴から本当の真実を守ってくれたに違いない。
That is golden longsword. Drew a massive blue arc as though splitting the heavens.
あなたと戦えてよかったです。
よって今回のゲームにおける俺の観測は第7条でなく第9条に基づく。じいさまを見たと主張したことがその証だ。
The noise which rang out across the cathedral was the sound of Delano's longsword clattering to the floor. Simply letting go of that was the same as resigning to the proud Delanor. Wow. Talk about the craziest argument that I ever seen in solving a mystery. Wow. Though the blue trail Bella had drawn was aiming right for the top of Delanor's head, he stopped a hair's breadth away. If it hadn't, Delanor would probably have been annihilated without leaving a single scrap of flesh behind.
リザインです。あなたの真実の否定を断念します。
借りは返した。お前の親父に敬意を。実戒は傲慢でも批判でもなかった。
父に敬意を。
Eleanor sat down on the floor and completely abandoned her will to fight.
何やってるんですか、ドラノール。情けない、みっともない、間抜けな薄のろ殺人人形。あんたは自分の父の名誉に泥を塗ったわ、恥知らず。それでもミステリーのくさび、魔法に屈するの。そんなのミステリーの歴史が許さない。
お前こそ何もミステリーを分かってないな。ミステリーが相手を知的に見下すための狂気にしか見えてないなら、お前に俺は二度とそれを語らせない。
Wow. Probably the biggest burn that I've seen. Now, since a new truth has been shown, the legitimacy of both truths is now put into question. Well, I guess I still have long ways to go, but for now, I will settle for my Happy Meal minion battle at the very least. Woohoo!
お前に相反する真実を宣言する。夏日おばさんは19年前の男、すなわち俺によって内戦電話で脅迫されていたんだ。その目的は夏日おばさんを殺人犯に仕立て上げること。これは初めから夏日おばさんに濡れ衣を着せるための復讐劇だ。
Yeah, I was thinking somewhere down that road with Hideyoshi before. And if I were able to, I would have applied this to the cousin's death as well. And just that I couldn't have just said that they pretended to be dead because of the red shoes in the court. But yeah, according to Beller and the rest, it is possible to reason that out too. Now the thing is, there are still some things that need to be ironed out. Like maybe the motive, maybe how some stuff was done there, but nonetheless, it is still something I'm gonna have to think about as well. But for now, as long as another truth has been shown, I'm pretty happy about that as well.
違います。夏日が仕組んだ後ろ宮邸の復讐劇です。 あなたの推理は私と真っ向から相反します。
お前のその青い槍まだ抜けないのか。
ええ、そうね。エリカからはまだ金像以外の理由での遺体消失を聞いていないわ。あんたの推理は現在否定中だけれど。
こんな槍など文人どもめ邪魔な。
The deeply piercing blue spear and the 7 red stakes tormented her fury. They won't come out. He won't come out.
修正とエリカの推理の誤りを認めるわ。そんな我が主。
Watching Erika's face contort with pain as she struggled to escape from a spear, Erika still declared this with a disgusted expression. For all intents and purposes, it's as if Erika still had acknowledged Erika's defeat herself. With eyes of shock and despair, Erika looked up at the master who no longer had any confidence in her victory.
あんたのプライドなんて知ったことじゃないわ。いつまでその無様な姿を晒す気なの？私と同じ青い髪を許された分身がいつまでそこで貼り付けになっているつもり？私自らがやはり降臨しなきゃダメなのかしら。やはり駒なんていらないわ。ああ、めんどくさいめんどくさい七めんどくさい。駒なんていらないわ。捨ててしまおう。ああ、残念無念失望絶望期待外れの的外れ。
Ah, fuck off already. Go back and, I don't know, bury yourself in a sandbox or something.
早くしなさいよクズが。お前のそのみっともない推理を修正しろって言ってんでしょ。はい、我が主、修正いたします。我が推理を修正いたします。
As Erika's face twisted in humiliation and tears streamed from her eyes, she withdrew and revised her own theory in accordance with her master's order. Mumbling quietly, she made various revisions with the Blue Truth, had them enlarged by Lambda Delta, and finally had the blue spear smashed and was freed. Though that Blue Truth did indeed explain how the bodies had disappeared, it was truly shabby reasoning that reeked of desperation.
我が主、抜けました。我が推理は完璧です。どこが？無様この上ないわ。でも許してあげる。あんたのその顔と推理がとっても情けなくて笑えるから。
Erika was taunted by her master, who wore an ugly expression. She threshed about on the floor, crying bitter tears. The wounded Delnor stepped out before her, as though shielding her, and she spoke to Erika still, as well as Bella.
どれほどみすぼらしかろうと、修正されたエリカ教の真実は有効です。
ああ、そうだ。俺の真実に関係なく、お前の真実も同時に存在する。
Multiple truths can coexist.
それがこの世界だ。誰にも否定できないから、いくつでもどんなに相互が矛盾しても、それらの真実は同時に存在できる。ここでは想像の数だけ真実があっていいんだ。それを誰も一方的に否定してはならない。
Right. It would be the equivalent of opinions. and what Burn is doing is basically a shit on people's meal. Because apparently their opinions are inferior to her. No respect whatsoever.
はい、そうです。エリカ教の真実は私が誰にも否定させません。
ドラノール。
このドラノールある限り、その真実をお守りいたします。どんなにみすぼらしくとも、私はその真実を嘲笑いはしません。
The words of Dylanor, whom Erika had previously looked down upon, led Erika to once again thrash about on the floor.
そして唯一の真実が存在しない限り、全ては闇の底だ。すなわち俺の推理もエリカの推理も否定不能であると同時に唯一の真実でもない。否定できないが絶対でもないあやふやなものだ。確定しない以上、魔女幻想はまだ存在してる。それを暴くことが許されてるのはエリカでなければ貴様らでもない。この俺だけだ。俺以外にベアトリーチェの魔女幻想は暴かせない。
判決を変更。後宮バトラの示した真実によりエリカの真実の唯一性は失われた。しかしエリカの真実は否定不能。よって2人の真実は並び立つ。第5のゲームの決着を撤回。ゲームはイーブンに戻るわ。そしてゲームマスターは私から黄金の魔術師後宮バトラに移る。後宮バトラ前へ。あんたを新しいゲームマスターに任命するわ。
My boy Batora. Well, since Ballard has reached maximum level, I guess I have to go forward and level up myself as well. Again, still have a long ways to go.
承諾するわよね。しなさい、新しい無限の魔女。
ああ、俺が新しいゲームマスターだ。第6のゲームは俺が紡ぐ。エリカ、今度こそ俺と決着をつけようじゃねえか。
Right. You still have long ways to go as well, little Missy. If you truly want to be a good detective, then you gotta treat this entire mystery with the love and respect that it deserves. Instead of using the Decalogue as a tool, use it to establish a connection with the mystery the right way this time.
立て。
立ちますとも。この屈辱、晴らす機会を与えたことを後悔させましょう。
Alright. Prove to us that you can fight till the end. And only then will you get my Happy Meal minion battle. I will get that minion battle from you. Soon.
我が主、第6のゲームにてもう一度バトラと戦う機会をお与えください。
ええ、もちろんよ。チャンスをあげる。
あら、すごいわね。あなたがチャンスをあげるなんて。これって奇跡じゃないの？奇跡の魔女ベルンカステル。
エリカ、奇跡的にあなたは命拾いしたわ。第6のゲーム、バトラのゲーム、何としても暴きなさい。忘却の闇に捨てられたくなければね。
はい、我が主。ドラノール。
無論です。 次なるゲームにても全力を尽くします。
もう客人のふりはしません。私とドラノールであなたのゲームを引き裂いてみせます。
ああ、招待してやるぜ。俺の第6のゲームにな。悪いがタイトルはお前のつけたチェックメイト・オブ・ザではなくなるぜ。
あなたのゲームです。あなたが名付けるといいでしょう。その挑戦望むところです。私はフルドエリカ、魔女である以前に探偵。あなたがこのゲームの新たな支配者であることを認め、そして宣戦布告します。絶対に暴いてやる。殺してやる。黄金の魔術師後宮バトラー。
ああ、存分にかかってこい。
Alright.
フルドエリカ
Minion battle is all mine! So come and get it, Erika! You bonehead! Just watch, battle. I'll take charge of a game. And in this next game, I'll prove that I completely understand all your riddles. I think I might be onto something here. Sakutaro's revival. If I am to use Noby's technique, two things that may seem to contradict each other can be used to give the solution. With this, I can actually manage to solve the mystery of Sakutaro's revival before he does. Oh, how pathetic. All of Noby's great cells being wasted on all that magic mumbo-jumbo, where the answer is plain as day. And why would he deny such an answer if he would turn a mundane solution to a grand happy ending for Sakutaro's revival? The stuffed toy Sakutaro can both be made by Rosa and not be the only one in the world. The only truth that can exist for Sakutaro's revival is... the hell is... Sorry for being late, Nefarious. You! I do have some businesses to attend to, even right now. But there is something you just said there that does not sit well with me. Time for me to say my final reasoning of Sakutaro's revival. Ding 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 ding! Let's begin the new round!